I was up in the canyons and the reception wasn't that fantastic. So this is a huge breakthrough and a massive, massive thank you and shout out to all drivers and riders that circulated our videos and concerns about safety, right? There were just too many stories during the pandemic, carjackings, murders, assaults, rapes, and you guys helped circulate the media stories. Now, what that does is it puts tremendous pressure on these companies, right? When all they get to see is themselves depicted negatively in the media, and another story on another driver being murdered, right? Yesterday, Lyft driver stabbed by two guys, and it goes on and on and on. Story this morning, lady does a delivery, the guys jump in her car, she forgot to lock her car. So these stories do not help Uber and Lyft. And what have they finally done? And we've been asking for this for ages, right? They know it's going to cost them some riders, they know it's going to cost them some money, but it's something that they had to do, and that is when the rider wants to start the trip, they truly have to identify themselves, right? Now they have to take a picture of their ID, right? They'll have to take a picture, probably front and back, of the ID. Yes, that's me. Of their license, of their passport, before they can take that trip. Now, the good thing is that gets rid of a lot of the riffraff. If people have bad intentions, well, they're not going to submit their details to the app, right, and take pictures of themselves. This also eliminates the problems of riders not having a photo or using these fake IDs. I've had the craziest names on the platform, right? We shouldn't picking these type of, ghetto boy or ghetto thug or slut, things like that, right? These are I'm not making this stuff up, but these are profile names that Uber and Lyft are not checking, people that should not be on the platform. And now if Uber, and I hopefully Lyft follows suit, right? Uber forces them to take a picture and identify themselves. This is who I am. Now, I don't think it's still enough, right? It would be an easy additional step to run a quick background check on a rider. Drivers have to do it. Doesn't cost the company much. That is money that they should invest in creating a very, very safe environment. You have that one additional step, right, where we weed out all the murderers, all the felons, all the people that have tons and tons of, jail appearances, sentencing, court appearances, etc. If you can weed those characters out, even better. But this is definitely a step in the right directions. And I hope it's not just a huge PR stunt again by Uber saying, hey, you know what? This is what we're going to do. Just do it nationwide. Do it worldwide right away. It's very easy with today's technology. Rider gets on the app, wants a trip. Hey, guess what? Identify yourself. Take a picture of your ID. Let's make sure we know who you are, right, before we accept that trip. Let's make sure you are who you are, right, the character getting in the car. So if we see that and then we pull up and we see this individual, is this the guy on the ID? No, it doesn't look like him. I'm going to cancel, right? So if they want to fake that, maybe they could. Maybe they take a picture of, I'm not sure. I mean, it would have to match up with what Uber and Lyft have on file, right? If they have a photo on file, let's see it. And hopefully that photo matches up with the ID, with the license or the passport, right? So not just saying, but actually doing. Let's see this thing in action. Let's start seeing some feedback. Let's start seeing less media stories. Capone TV, finally. Exactly. I mean, thank you for saying finally, because they brought this out for riders. Oh, drivers have to identify themselves, pins, etc., which was a fantastic law after that girl got killed in North Carolina or South Carolina. Good, protect the drivers, Eamon. Show me who you are. Put photo on the ground. Step back, advance to be recognized. Thank you. Perfect. Right. We want to recognize you. We have to identify ourselves to you by putting in that pin, by having our photo online, by having our. Yeah, I agree. These features will help a lot. This will get rid of a lot of riffraff. It's about time. And the only way we got here, it's the same way when Lyft offered the driver tips and Uber wasn't allowing the driver to receive their tips. We put relentless pressure on them, folks. By the way, I love this iPhone 13. Give it a thumbs up, everyone. Combination of a little bit of light just gives it such a nice, clear picture, the i13 Pro Max. So when we fought for tipping on the Uber platform, we pounded them relentlessly in social media. We turned to the press. Why are we not receiving our tips? Why is Uber taking our tips and we're getting it from Lyft, we're not getting it from Uber? And we hit them every single day, every single week, and we eventually got the tips, right? Those are our tips. Those are tips that you and I deserve because we worked hard and the rider wanted to tip you. So that tip should be passed on to you. Well, we had to fight for that. And the same thing here is that we fought and fought. I know that this channel made countless videos. This is like my number one of two topics, safety and money. Pay us better, keep us better protected. Give us the safety we deserve, right? This is a feature we deserve, right? It's not like, oh, wow, we're doing this for you guys, we should be grateful. We deserve this feature, right? If riders get to see us, if we have to identify ourselves to riders, we have to have our photo, we have to have our background check. It should, my friends, work both ways. So that's why I chose the title Breakthrough. This to me is a safety breakthrough if they roll it out, if they actually do it. Not just words, not just a media appearance, not just to make themselves look good on social media and on the TV channels, but actually do it. Not just in one city or 5 cities or as a test pilot or a beta. No, but in all cities, and not just in the United States, worldwide. Identify yourself. Show us who you are before you get into these 4 walls, right? I want to know who that character is in that seat and that seat behind me. That's all I ask, right? I would ask for a background check. I think we deserve that. So I think, now is not the time to let down and say, oh, well, they addressed our safety concerns, right? No, now's the time to keep on pushing. Why? Because they are listening. This shows us that they are listening, right? They're listening to all the negative. They're reading all the negative daily media. They realize we're not going to get into our cars in Chicago, in Washington, in certain cities, in certain neighborhoods. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. Cool. I'm so happy with this picture and with the lighting. Fantastic. By the way, this is suede leather that I had installed. It's a really nice touch to the car. Yeah. So if they want us to drive in those neighborhoods and they're surprised that they're not getting, and we got to fight for our multiplier, as my case said. Don't forget about that multiplier, right? That multiplier is very, very, very important. Oh, here, my lighting just shows you, just briefly went off. Switch it back on again. That's the regular. Let's see. How do we look with the light? There we go. Add a little bit of light. Actually, frickin' bright. I could get to tone the sucker down a bit. Let's take it down a few notches. How about that? Much better. There we go. See what you can do. Lighting Unbelievable. Make yourself brighter. Wow, I'm such a bright kid. Dumb me down a bit. Down, 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 down. Down, down. There we go. I think that's cool. So, good. Good. A step in the right direction. Definitely a step in the right direction. No doubt about it, right? And but we got to keep on fighting. We have 27 people in the room. If you think this is a breakthrough, give it a thumbs up, right? If you think this is a step in the right direction like I do, thumbs up. We're on 4 right now, 4 likes. Smash that like button. I want to see the very best attempt by Uber and Lyft to bring us the maximum amount of safety. And my job is not done as a YouTuber unless I keep on pushing and holding them accountable for every driver that we lose behind the wheel. If we lose a driver, if a woman gets raped in the car, right, they have failed us. They have not put enough money in. Not going to last for long like all the other promises Uber made, says Robert Garrett. Yeah, we shouldn't hold our breath, right? You know, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing here. I want to see or hear from the rider, oh, by the way, how does that new feature work out for you, right? Or Cranky Frankie says, I'm an Uber driver, homeless, living in my SUV. In what city? In what city are you? So they're already keeping the riders. Next, they need to have the drivers scan their ID. That might come. That might come. Clearwater, Florida. Well, sending you much love in Clearwater, Florida. Hopefully you get enough business that you can pull yourself out of that situation. Maybe rent an apartment or rent a studio, right? Must be tough, must be brutal living out your car. Working in your car, like your SUV sounds to me like your SUV serves as your workplace and as your sleeping space, right? So you gotta work on changing that, right? Set a goal. I don't know how many hours you put in. They need riders, and this will drive some away. Very good point. I said that right in the beginning, Robert. They need the riders, and this will drive some riders away, which is good because it'll drive the riders away that know that they have issues, right? If you have issues, you don't want to present your mugshot. You don't want to present your ID or your license or your. Can the driver demand ID? Let me see here. Can the driver demand ID without Uber or against the rule? Cranky Frankie makes about 200 a day. Are you working 30 days a month? Is that $6,000? The swamp drivers, the swamp riders, it'll get rid of them. Exactly. And this is what I'm happy about, right? They have to make a calculation here, right? We're losing so many drivers. We're getting such bad press every single day, right? If we introduce this feature, which they say they will, it's going to cost us a lot of riders, and it's going to cost us the swamp riders, the ones that we don't want, the trash, the absolute trash of the trash, right? The felons, the real trash. Those people should not be on the platform in the first place. So I say good riddance. If you are not prepared to take a picture of your ID as a rider, you're not worthy getting into our car, not into my car at least, right? If you're not willing to identify yourself and show me who you are, photo, name, sorry, I have no space for you in this car, right? So it is a step in the right direction, definitely. And, while we at it, what makes these YouTube live feeds so special is you get so much interesting, helpful, positive feedback, right? So if you can think of other features, and I know they scour these videos, I know they go through these videos, please present your safety ideas, right? 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a video on a driver that invented this quick stick that you could stick out of the car. You know, even if a few 100,000 drivers had that, it would bring the number of deaths and rapes down. Anything and everything we can do for the safety of drivers and riders, we need to introduce. There cannot be any saving money, any saving on the budget when it comes to safety, right? Because safety in these apps can save lives. Right now, too many good people are dying. They are desperate for riders and won't control who gets in the car, no matter what. Right, well, I agree with that statement, but you cannot function as a company being in the press 3 to 4 times a day over a murder, over a carjacking. It's killing their business, right? It's literally killing their business, so they have to. I boycott Uber doing Instacart now. Jason in the house, thank you. I love it. Love that. And, you know, I still think we should call for another big national and international safety strike, right? Maybe put that together, coordinate that with the big cities. Jason, appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Hopefully you and your family are doing well. Mike says, I wouldn't want America's most wanted riding in my car or known felon that gets right. Exactly. So I had a, you know, I had this real, I would call it stupid response by a subscriber who I can clearly see who wanted to start a little bit of a fight with me in the channel. And I made a comment on that dude that stabbed the Lyft driver. He was tattooed up and had all these tats, and you know, he had his teardrops and his all that stuff going on, right? And I said, you know, you can definitely make a judgment by the visual. Is this a safe or isn't this a safe guy? And when I said that, I meant that when you look at the tattoos, right? Was this a jailbird? Do you know how to, you know, a lot of jailbirds will put crosses on their fingers. That shows how many times they went to jail. Well, as a driver, if you see a guy getting in the car, and I know that, right? I look out for specific features. And by the way, please Google, you know, gang tattoos. There is a phenomenal article, right, which shows up right away on Google, and it shows you the most 100 predominant signs of gang tattoos, right? No, Jonathan, how are you, buddy? Know that and study that, right? I can actually put the link of that underneath the video. If you know what type of tattoos gangs have, if you know what type of tattoos represent someone climbing the ranks in a gang or someone being demoted because they did something, they ratted someone out, right? They actually, the gangs will force tattoos on you in the prisons. And when you're out in the streets and you're ordering an Uber and a Lyft, well, it would be very, very good to just know the very, very basics. What do specific tattoos mean, right? Like the emblem of a tiger, the emblem of the crosses on the fingers, right? To know that, I can start making my own picture. Should this individual be in the car? Should I be more cautious here? You know, should I stop the ride before I start the ride? I had those type of characters in the car. They got in too quickly. They just came from the side, opened the door, and they were in my car. And then I looked at the tattoos and I realized I'm dealing with 2 jailbirds or ex-jailbirds, 2 ex-felons, right? So to that person who attacked me and said, no, you can't, you should never ever, you can't tell a criminal by his or her appearance. I have news for you, right? You can read so much from those tattoos. And once I put that link underneath this video later, I'll do that tonight when I get back, you will see what I mean. You know, the most 100 common tattoos that gang members have. And Google it, please Google it, right? Gang tattoos or gang member tattoos. It shows up right away on Google. It is a phenomenal article filled with tons and tons of visuals and photos, and it shows you what type of tattoos they get and why they get them. Well, guess what? At some point, 5 years, 3 years, 10 years later, these people get released. And I always believe giving someone a second chance in life, right? But listen, when you're out in the street and you're in an area and you pull up and you see an individual approaching the car, or in this case, now they have to identify themselves because they have to take a photo of themselves, right? They have to take a photo of their ID. Well, if they take a photo of the ID and the mugshot has all of these prison type of tattoos, why? Because I know what they mean and what they represent. Am I still going to accept that trip? All it tells me is that Uber hasn't run a background check and they're allowing the person on the platform, even if they're willing to photograph themselves. But there's a lot of people that are not willing to take a picture of their ID, a picture of their license, or a picture of their passport because they have a lot to hide, right? So I'm carefully saying this will get rid of a lot of riffraff. And Uber's doing a calculation here. How much money is this going to cost us? They can take a photo of an ID. Is it verified by Uber? Good question, Brian. Jonathan, amen. Right? Amen to you, brother. You know, again, is it verified? Right? Does that photo of the rider that they take match up with Uber's photo? Is that photo good enough for us? Right? If we see that photo, if we see the picture, we make a judgment. Am I not going to take this individual? Hang in there, Frankie. Find a decent micro hotel with a decent weekly rate and get out there on your grind, brother. Good point. I like that. And that's to the gentleman who's living in the SUV. If you could start off, just get a, put in more hours, put in 10, 15 more hours driving time. Maybe look at your schedule. Maybe get up earlier, Frankie. You should be generating more than $200 a day, right? And whatever you're generating on a daily basis should take care of your weekly motel. You should not be living in your car, right? You should not be living in your SUV. Why is Uber taking almost 50% from us now? This is so crazy. Why, Edward? Because they've lost a lot of drivers. They're not coming back, right? They have rider demand again, but it's not being met with driver supply. Right, so they're cranking up the prices on the rider side. They're taking more from the driver because they have to make those margins. Remember, they promised, next quarter they're going to make a profit, and the only way they're going to keep those stock prices high, right? Or they're not even high. They're in their 40s. They're pathetic. But the only way they're going to maintain it is by making these like false promises to Wall Street, to the financial world. Oh, by the way, we are going to make a profit next quarter. Well, how do we do that? We take even more from the driver. We increase the rider fees. It's greed, plain and simple. Nothing else. Robert's on the money. On the money. So we have 57 people in the house. Good evening. Daytona is in the house. Uber only cares about shareholders, investors, shareholders. This is where, I'm sorry, but I always do this. This is where, that's what Dara does to investors and shareholders. He blows them all frickin' day long, right? Not do anything for drivers, do the minimum for riders, but he'll do everything. Those CEOs will do everything for their shareholders and their investors, right? It's like those are the gods. Oh my God, we're running this company for them. We are at your mercy, investors, shareholders. Yes, everything we do, when we fudge the books, when we fake the records, when we fake the quarterlies, we do it all for you, right? Bullshit. It is BS. Hit that like button, everyone. We got 17, we got 59 people in the house. So hopefully you're staying all safe. A lot of you are back out there driving. I'm thoroughly enjoying my new iMac 13 Pro Max, and got some lighting set up here in the car. I can crank up the volume. I can make it brighter, as you can see. That's bright, bright, bright. Or I can tone it down. Edward, here's the trick with that 50%. Let's see that. Grab, it's really your money in escrow that they pay you that same money later when they show you a bonus. Very good, Capone. All Uber drivers can quickly leave to another platform. We need competition apps to drive for. Which by the way, quick announcement here. I did step down as the CEO of the local driver co-op out of Toronto. I was not happy with the progress. Took way too long. And then if I am owed payments and the payments are not coming, I'm sorry, I don't work for free, right? I'll do charity work for nonprofits. I will support nonprofits. I will volunteer time. I will volunteer and have my kids work with me, giving back to the community. But what I will not do, and I made this very, very clear to the leadership at the driver co-op, I don't work for free. So if you cannot show me the money, I cannot do additional free work. I have done hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work for this company, and a lot of the money is still owed. Sorry, doesn't work. Darren needs his payout and put more in the offshore bank accounts for buyouts and bribes. Well, I'm sure in the days of Travis Kalanick, when they're opening up the markets, a lot of bribes took place. When I grew up in Africa, I can tell you, so many people there took bribes, right? So I think certain countries, it's more easier. The people are easier to bribe. Other countries, I think more in the European countries, maybe Germany, Denmark, it's not as easy to bribe. What's up, Tech Dahal? Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you and your family are doing well. But, bribes, back in the Travis day, I'm sure many were paid. But back on the topic, back on the point here, Uber made this huge announcement today, which I call a breakthrough. Tom Ferry says we need a gas surcharge. We certainly do. This is a step in the right direction. And they mustn't just talk about it. They must actually implement it and immediately do it in all cities, all neighborhoods worldwide, right? Have the rider, before they take that trip, take a photo of their ID, of their license, of their passport, identify themselves, show us who you are, show us your face, show us your mugshot. Otherwise, you're not getting in our car. Because that's what they expect from us with the pins. We verify ourselves. We run a background check. We have to show our photos. We have to show our real name. So it's got to be a two-way street, Uber and Lyft, Grubhub, DoorDash, all of those companies. Got to be a two-way street, right? Safety for both sides. Safety for the riders, safety for the drivers. Not just all the focus on the riders. All the money spent on rider safety, no. What about the drivers? It saddens me and it sickens me what stories I have to make videos on or read on a daily basis, what's happening to drivers around this country because these companies are failing us on safety, right? They're not putting the money into safety. And it's costing them in the media. Passenger could literally shoot me in the back as a driver. Right. Keep their feet to the fire, Timothy. That is my job, is to take Dara's toes and roast them in the bonfire, right? Keep their feet to the fire. If I could catch that weasel Dara, I would literally grab his foot and I'd put his toes in the bonfire and let them sizzle and roast a little bit. And like, hey, are you going to put money into the safety of drivers? And I'm going to hold his leg in the bonfire and I'm going to roast those toes. Dara, are you going to put money into safety? I'm going to make that weasel squeal like a pig. I'd pay a lot of money to see that. I would pay money. I would pay if I could facilitate that. Hold his hairy legs to a bonfire and roast his toes, all his little 5 toes. Are you going to spend money on safety, Dara? Are you going to spend money on safety, Dara? Give us an answer. Yes or no? Yes, I will. Gotta pound these guys. That's what we're doing. You see, by where we, one of the best strategies we have is just relentlessly take these stories. Got a story, and it makes them look stupid because it's another carjacking or another rape. Circulate it, tweet it, Facebook pages, Facebook city pages, make a video, start your channel. But when you start putting those stories out and people see that, they just see that every day. Oh my God, another Chicago, another carjacking, another carjacking, another carjacking. It's not good for the companies. It's not good. That's because it's all that circulates every day are these stories, right or wrong. Every single day, right or wrong. You can put in Google, Uber News, Lyft News. All you're going to do is find another killing, another rape, another carjacking, another killing, another rape, another carjacking, right? So you put those stories out there. Circulate, tweet, link, paste. Story. Pound them, right? Like that slugfest between like Fury and Wilder. Just pound them. Alternatives in Austin, Texas is Earth Rides, all Teslas. Earth Rides. Shout out to Earth Rides in Austin, Texas. Anyone in Austin, Texas needs a ride. Earth Rides, Austin, Texas. If someone tries to murder me and I'm going to get them to their destination, I feel like I deserve 5 stars. Wow, that's a powerful statement. If someone tries to murder me and I get them to their destination, I deserve 5 stars. My attitude is a little bit different. If somebody tries to murder me in the car, make sure their family has the money for the funeral, because I will put you 6 foot under the ground. Very, very simple. If your intention is to get into my car, steal my car, or kill me, I'm going to kill you first. Bottom line. Sorry, I said it. There's no way. If you have bad intentions and you pull out a gun and do crazy shit in our cars, no good. Exactly. We've got to flex a bit there. 6 feet underground. That's where I'm going to put him, in a casket. Ain't gonna happen. So, and I got a lot of toys in this car that'll take care of that. A lot of toys in this car that'll take care of that problem, right? If need be, you just shoot them through the side of your seat. That bullet's gonna go through the seat. You just hold it quietly, put your hand in your jacket. Yes, sir, I understand. And then you just pop them through the back of your seat. Boop, 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 through that seat, right? The gun in there, pull it out, and just pop them through the back of it. And I'm not driving tonight, so not armed. But I'm sorry, if your intentions are ill, if you get in my car and you have committed former crimes and I'm supposed to be one of your statistics, good luck to you, right? It is a good technique. I know it from South Africa. Shouldn't say that, but you know, I can tell you the amount of times I was shot at or had to fire back, not funny. Not just once, multiple times, right? I was once in a massive shootout where they clearly had the intention. They pulled up with a couple of vans, a lot of people, all AK-47s, and they wanted to wipe me out, the business owner, all my staff, all my security. That was their game plan. Didn't quite go that way. right? Because they came across some highly trained people on our side. No jokes. So I could tell you many, many stories. Maybe one day I'll make a video just devoted to that. But I've been in crossfire. You got to learn how to defend yourself, and if that person has bad intentions, you got to learn how to put them out of their misery, right? Because it's either you or them. And I was telling my wife some of my South Africa stories the other day, and she's like, oh my God, I cannot believe that. I cannot even believe that, that would happen. And the bottom line is, when people live in poverty and they don't have anything, and the only means to get something is to steal, to kill, right, to make some money, because they have no education, they have no parental support, they fall through the cracks, they enroll in gangs. It's game over. How much life expectancy do you have if that is the route that you're choosing? You're not going to go over 30 years old. So I hope you and I do not come across those type of characters, right? And be on the lookout, be on the alert at all time. IQ boy, still no excuses. Business now says, I'm a Lyft driver and I'm so happy to watch your channel. I have been getting a lot of minors without parents lately. When I cancel these rides, they threaten me with suspension. Look, don't let someone ever threaten you over, you got to use the psychology, and thank you for saying that, Business Now 24. If a parent is using the psychology of getting you suspended because you will not take their minors, or you will not take them because they don't have a babysit, you say, listen, if you threaten me with suspension, I will guarantee you will never ever get on this platform again, and I will press legal charges, right? Because what you're doing is you're submitting false information. A, I will prove that to Uber and Lyft. B, I will prove it to the courts and I'll hold you accountable. So good luck. Good luck to you if you think you're going to get me suspended. Now the trip is over, get the fuck out, right? That's how you talk to them. That's the only language they'll understand. And they can bitch and they can rave and they can rant as much as they want. The trip's over at that moment. The moment they threaten you that you are going to get a false suspension over things that you shouldn't do, right? Shouldn't a company, oh, well, you know what, take my kids to school. Well, sorry, your kids are 12, 13 years old. I can't, right? Or, hey, you know what, my baby's going to sit on my lap. No, your baby's not going to sit on your lap. You make sure you bring a baby seat, right? Out. Get out. No, I'm gonna suspend you. I'm gonna get you suspended. I'm gonna call in. Okay, good. Let me make this clear to you. You call the company and issue a false statement on suspension and get me suspended. I will guarantee you will never ever be driving in an Uber and Lyft platform again. And I guarantee you will have your day in court, because I will subpoena your records, your name, and I will file a lawsuit against you for trying to damage or falsely defame me to my company, which would cost me my job. Good luck. You're going to lose a lot of money. Good luck with your false suspension. I will come after you. Now get the fuck out of my car, right? Short and sweet. Always take control. Always show them who the alpha is. If they want to start brawling and fighting, well, then it's a whole nother level, right? Then it might be 911 time. Then it might be time, oh, you know what? I need to get out of the car quickly, and I need to remove myself from my car, and I need to dial 911, right? By the way, I'm dialing 911 now. Or outside the car, dial 911. What are you doing? I'm dialing 911. Get the cops here. Not tolerating your shit, not tolerating your BS. Pull into a gas station. Pull into something that's all very well lit up. Gas stations are great. Pull in. Just pull in. Suddenly pull in. Get out the car. Dial 911. Element of surprise, right? Do not tolerate their shit. Do not tolerate their threats. Do not tolerate their threats of suspension or their false threats, right? Dimitri's in the house. He says, Robert, what part of Atlanta are you in? Shout out to Atlanta. But folks, we got to come up with more recipes, more ways, more avenues that we can present these companies through these live feeds in the Facebook pages. Hey, I have a suggestion on safety. I have an idea on safety. How about the companies do this, right? 100% turn on the flashes. Very good point. Turn on the flashes, right? The more that individual, that rider feels at unease, what the heck is going on? Why did he pull into a gas station? Why is he on his phone? Why are his flashes on? Right? Let all those questions circulate through that rider's head. Am I in trouble? What am I going to do now? I better remove myself because something is not going the way I want it to go. They want to control the situation. You take the control away from them and you control the situation, right? Element of surprise is great. I've done it a few times. It works very, very, very well, right? I had a car. I fell asleep. It was a convertible. My ex-wife was driving, and someone had bad intentions. They couldn't see me in the car because I was sleeping, so they followed her. And finally, in an alleyway, they tried to make their move. They pulled up to her. I got out the car, and I just clubbed the guy through the window. I just started hitting him through the window because his intentions were bad. They got out the car, right? As they opened up the door, said, okay, honey, hit the brakes, get out the car. And I just started smashing through that window, pounding the guy. I said, you've been following this woman and your intentions were to rape or whatever. Put the guy lights out, good night, sleep tight. I mean, he had blood all over his face, right? I smashed this guy to pulp because I know what he was trying to do, right? He had seen her at a traffic light and he'd followed her all the way right up. I said, pull into this alley, right? In the alley, they try to make a move, try to get out the car. As they're getting out the car, I jumped on the other side of the car and ran up to the door and just started clubbing, right? Daytona, the hub doesn't fix anything. The problem with the hub is you get up front there and you're dealing with a couple of workers who are getting a low hourly and they don't enjoy their job, right? They just do not. Techie B is in the house. They do not enjoy their job. And you know what? You're a nuisance to them. And the moment you recognize that you're getting no cooperation or no help, I'm sorry, maybe this situation is a little bit out of your control and you don't know quite how to handle it. I need to speak to a manager. Oh, no. I said, okay, well, let's address the issue then, because you're not addressing the issue, right? Try and escalate it up to a manager at a hub. It's very, very hard to get a manager at the hub. Edward says, I hate when they don't tell us where the destination is, especially when it's the last few rides on your shift. Especially when it's the last few rides and it's getting very, very late. And you sort of think, okay, well, I got to get home. I want to be home by 11, 12 o'clock. But one of these trips could take me in a complete different direction. I had that before. I was on my way home once to Calabasas. And then the trip took me down to Orange County and one took me down to San Diego. Last ride, completely out of your control. So we need that. And if we are an independent contractor, as they call us, then we have the right to see that destination. We have the right to manage our trip. What are we going to charge? Multiplier, for example. And B, am I going to drive all? All right, so now I am going to head out and pick up a client. I want to take your driving course. What's the website? Thank you, Sir Irwin. And by the way, a PROF 30 gives you a 30% discount. The discount code is underneath, and it's www.ridesharedrivingschool.com. ridesharedrivingschool.com. ridesharedrivingschool.com. And I am launching within the next month the private chauffeur course, like, how to become a private chauffeur and be the best at the best in your game. Because a couple of people that I've trained up, and for example, vouch for Thomas Gibson in San Diego. I mean, you got to really see where they started out and where they took this game and what type of clients they have these days. Don't ever tell me, I cannot get there, or I cannot do this, no. You can completely control the situation and have phenomenal clients, right? Phenomenal clients. I mean, think of it. This last week, right? 4 times I went to Alanis Morissette concert. I went to the Rolling Stones concert with my VIPs. I went to the Dave Chappelle, and I went to the Foo Fighters with my clients. Got tickets and parking, right? And got paid for the night, a lot of money. So great entertainment, the very best. You're sitting in the VIP lodge. You're getting the best parking up front, and you're getting paid for the whole night. Don't tell me you can't do it. What's the rate of take-home pay with car cost, fuel? After a 50% cut, after they take that 50%, now you start working. If you have $100 fare, right, and let's work some numbers here. If I do, let's say if I do an airport trip, they pay me $100, $50, 50% automatically goes to you. I'm left with 50. I can at least factor in another $15 to $20 of costs. That's gas, mileage, tires, wear and tear, right? So essentially, that's pre-taxes. That's even before taxes. Maybe you left with $30. Maybe you left with 30 out of the 100. That's why if you're a private driver and you're billing them 100%, now if you're charging $100, now you start with $100. So if I start deducting all my fees out, maybe I'm left with 70 versus 30 with Uber and Lyft, right? See the difference? So it should be in your best interest that you start building out your private clientele. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for the relentless pressure that drivers put on these companies in social media, and that it was an announcement, we will see. Seeing is believing. But apparently the riders now have to identify themselves. They have to take a picture of their ID, their driver's license, their passport before they can get in the car. Finally, you and I will see a name, we'll see a photo, and we'll see a real person. We can make a decision, right? Finally, as many people have said before, this will get rid of a lot of the riffraff. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for seeing through the BS. Absolutely. Gioria says, we drivers receive full disclosure for deliveries, but not rides. What's the difference? Well, on the deliveries, you're pretty much in your neighborhood. It's not like if you're doing deliveries in Santa Monica, you'll probably deliver in Santa Monica and Venice, and you'll probably know, okay, that's fine. I'll do the Pacific Palisades and Brentwood if I need be, but it's not going to take me to very suspect areas, 1 or 2 hours away. The difference between food deliveries and riders is that one trip with a rider could take you an hour and a half away, 2 hours away, could take you into a really, really rough neighborhood, right? Food deliveries, there's more consistent data. I do food deliveries in Malibu. I'll probably do 90% of my food deliveries in Malibu. But if I'm a rider and I start off in Malibu, I could end up in Orange County. I could end up in Compton. I could end up in Inglewood. I could end up in Santa Monica and Venice. I could end up in Ontario. I could end up in Riverside. Who knows, right? But with food deliveries, there's definitely more statistical data that you will be working within a 5-10 mile radius. The guy wants his meal hot, warm. They're not prepared to have that burger from McDonald's delivered from LA to Riverside. Look, Eric, buying 5 to 10 cars, vans, etc., and renting them out, a hire car. I know a lot of people are making money on hire car and Turo. Understand that those are brokers. They will take 25% of your money, right? You can set up your own contracts, but it's really good to start off with like Turo or Hire Car and get these cars rented. If, and here's the if, only if you can pick up these cars at the right price at the right auction, right? Then you can make money. But if you're going to go out today or tomorrow and you're going to go and buy a van or cars through a dealership, forget it. You're not making money because they already have a 20% surcharge, right? So you got to know how to shop. You got to know how to shop for vans and cars. If you get them at the right price, there's people making a lot of money on Hire Car and Turo, right? They say, okay, well, I'll leave all the responsibility on Hire Car and Turo, right? And let them take their 25, 30%, just like the Uber and Lyft take 30% from the restaurants. Hire Car and Turo will take a huge chunk of your daily or weekly rentals, right? It really boils down to what can I get this car for, right? What can I buy this car at, right? And then you can give incentives. If they rent it out for a month, they get a better price. If they rent it out for a week, they get a decent price. If they rent it out for a day or 2 days, well, that's a lot of work, right? I've had conversations with numerous people. I've tried those platforms. I do everything myself now. I act as the Hire Car. I act as the Turo. I cut out the middleman. Been doing that for years, cutting out the middleman. But once upon a time, I did try that. It does work. Your margins are not as great as if you do it yourself, right? But it's a pretty basic formula. Buy cheap and rent high. Cranky says, my car runs around the clock, wastes half a tank of gas a night, so I just can breathe with the air on. But the question is, if you have that SUV, Frankie, what categories did they put you in? In that SUV, you should not be doing X trips, right? So if you are doing X trips, you're doing something wrong. You got to switch that off, right? I'm trying to sort of determine why you have to live in your car, which saddens me. I don't like the fact that you have to live in your car. So what do you guys think about the picture? What do you think about the audio of this new phone? I absolutely love it. Good evening. How are you? Welcome. Hit that like button as you come in. Hopefully you and your family are doing great, staying safe. Hopefully you're making money. Appreciate it. Looks good. Cool. So I got the light controls here. I can crank up the lighting, make it brighter. I'm gonna make myself a little bit brighter, a little bit more intelligent now. No. Check that out. Damn, it's bright. And now we're gonna dumb it down. There we go. I like that light. Battery for lighting. Yeah, USB operated. There it is. If you can see it on the corner there, it should. Professional wouldn't have that in the picture, but there it is. See the light coming into the picture there? That's true. Color would be pimping. Could pimp it out. Put laser lights in the back. Mirror ball. I was running this by my wife, but I wanted to get like one of those, Sprinter vans, or like a Ram or a Ford or like a Transit, and then turn it into a mobile YouTube studio. Oh, no. I don't want another car parked at the house. It's the problem. You have too many cars, too many toys. Drives the woman crazy. In UV. Yeah, they do have them in UV. Jimmy's in the house. Abstract Echo. All right, my friends, if we can get two more, we're on 48 people. Shout out to all 48 of you. Thank you very much. Eric says, how many cars total do you have parked at your house? Too many, Eric. I have cars parked at the house, and I have cars parked at other houses, and I have cars parked on like business lots. where I do deals with my clients for parking my cars there. RP Vegas drivers, Gilad is keeping the light out of the frame will keep from lens flares, and so will a clean lens. Thank you. I appreciate. I just learned something. Thank you. I have the world's best mechanic, Ruben Miller. Has a branch in Santa Monica and Long Beach. I've been with him for 21 years. Does all the cars, old, new, whatever it is, SUVs, everything, right? Only thing my mechanic didn't do yesterday was replace my windscreen. $700 for a new windscreen. Got a crack, right? You guys know that feeling, right? When you get a crack and it starts spidering on your window, $700 for the windscreen. So those are the only things my mechanic doesn't do, but otherwise everything else. Charles says, appreciate your channel. I appreciate you, Charles. If it wasn't for people like you, Charles, I would not have a channel. If it wasn't for people like you, Charles, and everyone else, we would not be able to get the message out. We would not be able to make a difference. We would not be able to, project our stories, share our stories in media, and put the relentless pressure on the companies. Right, so it's a two-way story. Philly businessman, you're live, cool. I did get your emails, Philly businessman. I did check them out. Thank you. Model of the lamp. Oh gosh, good question. I got it at Best Buy. It's a big ring. It's like a big round ring, and it has a tripod. So sort of modified it so I can use it in the car. But I like this type of lighting. There's a guy shouting around outside here. So I'm gonna get a quick coffee. The night is young. Out, make money. Been insanely busy. Got 49 likes. I appreciate you guys. Huge news in my eyes. Cool. So there's a guy screaming at other people here. Hey! Hey! What's up? Now shut up. See how quickly you shut up? Why are you running away? Come here. Knock you out. Anyway. Now he runs away. Big mouth. Took off. He took off. Anyways, long story short, I want to provoke the guy. Need a little bit of live action here. I want to knock somebody out on front of the camera so you can see the RP in action. But the guy took off. Probably felt a little uneasy. I'll be back with more live videos now that I've got this phone. The problem with the other phone was the audio was not fantastic, kept on fading in and out. So I said, hey, I'm going to go all in on the 13 Max, and I'm really, really happy I did it, right? Have you seen the new Lyft feature, bonus zones? Yeah, I mean, they copy each other. Uber copies Lyft, Lyft copies Uber. Watch now, that's with this new identification, the video that I made, the story. I hope this character comes back. I hope we can have some fun. I'll call him right to the window. I'll tell him to shut up. Watch how I handle this guy. Big mouth, come over here. My people want to meet you. It's iMac 13 Pro Max. iPhone 13 Pro Max. iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's what it is. Good evening, James Wakassis in the house. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. People are rolling in steadily. Hit that like button. With a really good topic is, and then the reason why I got so excited about the topic, because safety and better pay for drivers are my two big topics. So if something big happens in the safety world with these apps, in this case, they say now that the riders have to identify themselves. They have to take pictures of their IDs, of their driver's license or passport before they can get into the car. That to me is a massive, massive step in the right direction. I don't want them just to talk about it. I want to actually see it rolled out in all cities. Why is this guy making so much noise? So this is young guy running around screaming at everyone. Why does security allow these crazies just to get into people's faces on the, oh cool, the Note 20. Why does the security of these shopping centers, etc., allow these type of people to get into the faces of their clients on the parking lots? It's unacceptable. Is the security not doing their job? Is the security too afraid to confront that individual? I don't know. What I do know is I need a coffee, because phase 2 of tonight is going to start right now. Update to 7G type. Pixel 6 is next. Yeah. Well, I'm more than happy with this one, right? So, this puppy cost $1,300. Turned the other one in. I got $800 for the other one. Crazy is common in Seattle, 24/7. Nobody does anything about it. Yeah. They just let the people be crazy. She drives me crazy. Prince. No, that's not Prince. Fine Young Cannibals. Let's Go Crazy. That's Prince. She drives me crazy. Fine Young Cannibals. Let's Go Crazy. Prince. Send me your FYC. Send me your tech channel link. Guys got very quiet. Hopefully I can still get a coffee. Please don't tell me they shut it down. No surges. Well, it's interesting. Like, some cities are surging. Some cities are reporting that it's dead. So I guess it's not like it's not surging all over the country. There are pockets where it's surging big time. I had a homeless try to stop me in the street like a soccer goalie. I turned on my right blinker and went left. He went for the right blinker. I love it. I got a crazy story for you. It happened in Venice on Abbot Kinney. And there was this homeless guy, big guy, shirt off, just shorts. He was raging on drugs, and he just started running up to women randomly across the street, wherever he could see women, and he just screamed at them and he started hitting them. And nobody was doing anything about it. No guys were stepping in. They're all afraid of this guy. The woman just screaming, running away. This guy's running back and forth, terrorizing the patrons. And I'm sitting in the car, and this is sort of happening in front of me, and he's zigzagging across the street, coming in my direction. So I thought, this is fantastic. I get out the car, and I intercepted him in the middle of the road. Literally hit this guy in the middle of Abbot Kinney. This is a busy street, but everybody could see what was going on. Nobody wanted to do anything about it, and I thought, let's have some fun, right? And I knew the cops were going to back me up on this one, right? Because there were enough women to testify that he had hit them or gone for them, screamed at them, spat at them. This guy was going apeshit. He was raging. Anyway, hit him so hard in the middle of that middle line of the street. The body just went like this, and then just hit the concrete. And people looked at me and like, WTF, what just happened now? Why did this guy just, and I'm like, sorry, this would have gone on and on and on. Somebody would have, some of these women, he's just going crazy, like hitting the woman, and the woman was screaming, running with her shopping bags. Anyway, it was a fun day. The cops said I did a great job. Cops came in, there were no charges pressed, because obviously he had attacked first. He had attacked multiple people, multiple witnesses, no charges. And I just want to sort of see if still had it. I thought we could have some fun with this guy tonight, but he's taken off. He's been very, very quiet. It's amazing how you can change things around. Like just now, this guy's right by the car, loud, screaming at people, and then you just confront him, right, with a lot of energy, and they're not used to that, so they take off, right, because they're on drugs, and they get like freaked out, like, oh my God, what's going on? It's not me controlling the show, somebody else is shouting at me, right? And yes, it can escalate, but you got to know sort of who you have in the car, who you have in front of you, right? Always read your people. We're good at that. Read the people. Know 360 what's happening around you. That looks dangerous. That situation over there, yep, I can handle that. That I can't handle. Know the situations. And I'm going to end it on this note. It's good to know who's in my car. When I have private clients, I know who's in my car. If they book me again, I know who gets into my car. But like it's the lottery with Uber or Lyft. You're going to win it. You're going to win a good client, or you're going to have a terrible client. It's like the wild lottery. It's like playing roulette and putting your money on red. Black comes in, or you put your money on black and red comes in. You do not know what gets into your car, right? This new feature should, if they roll it out, make somewhat of a difference. It should get rid of a lot of the riffraff, right? Should eliminate a lot of the problems, hopefully. My friends, it was great. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to say, mace in the eyes, exactly. I'm going to say goodnight to you all. Great breakthrough, safety breakthrough. Uber, keep it coming. Lyft, keep it coming. Uber and Lyft CEOs, keep on spending the money on safety. Don't be math guys or sticklers when it comes to safety. Spend the money there. Mr. CEO of Uber, Mr. CEO of Lyft, Mr. CEO of Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, Bolt. Spend the money on safety. The less you guys want to be in the media, the less you guys as executives want to read stories about drivers or riders being assaulted, murdered, carjacked. My suggestion to you guys, to all these executive trash teams, as I call them, because they're all pathetic, spend safety is sexy. I love that. Let's hashtag Eric, safety is sexy. I love that. Hashtag safety is sexy. Let's get that going. Amen. God be with you, Mike. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate all of you tonight. All 50 people in the house. Have a fantastic Wednesday tomorrow. Go out there, be safe, make money. Hashtag safety is sexy. I love it. Yeah. Love it. Good, man. Dara, safety is sexy. Logan Green, John Zimmer, safety is sexy, right? You can do it. You can spend the money on safety. You can keep drivers safe. You can keep riders safe. And you can be less in the media with all these horror stories, right? Hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, now we present hashtag safety is sexy. Good night, everyone. I appreciate you all. Be safe, make money, and take good care of your families. Cheers, everyone.